so I decided to write a song.
How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Sheir, and I am the host of the Make A Way podcast. I'm here with a good brother, Sheir-Ron Whittaker. We're here to talk about his football experience, like before, after, in between. We're going to get right into it, man. What's up, good brother?
What's good with you, bro? Appreciate you having me here.
Not much, man. Really appreciate you for coming down here again, especially on such short notice. We're going to get right into it, bro. Tell me, man, what part of the city you from?
Man, I'm from Vernon Road, call that Uptown, Mount Airy. Grew up playing for the Mount Airy Band. Shout out Mount Airy. Best organization in the city.
Where it look nice really ain't nice, right? You feel me? I mean, shout out to Cole. I remember when I heard that in high school, bro. Like, so when you come up in Southwest, like everything past City Hall is all north to us. We don't know. I ain't know no Mount Airy, no Uptown, no North, no Northeast. No, all that was north.
Yeah.
So when I hear I'm from Mount Airy in high school, like, 'cause when I went to high school, that's when you start seeing people from different hoods. There's one girl like, I'm from Uptown. I'm like, you trying to make a fancy way of saying North Philly? Like, but I was really dead serious though. She like, no, like I'm from Uptown. Like, don't confuse me with like the girls from Uptown dress better, we look better, and I'm just like, I don't know the difference, bro. It's all North Philly to me.
Man, that's all speculation, man. The whole city do their thing.
That's all speculation.
It's all speculation.
I be trying to say that too. Like, at the end of the day, like, you'll find good looking people, you'll find broke people, you'll find ugly people, dirty people everywhere you go. Regardless, like, it's a person by person basis for everything.
For sure.
I mean, so tell me, man, Mount Airy Band. I was actually on here with Chris Garrett a couple weeks ago. He was telling me about his experience, like with DJ Moore, a couple other good players played on their team.
Yeah, man. Played with a lot of good players there. You got DJ Moore, you got Walt Pagese. Everybody know Walt.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thought Walt was crazy. Like now, back in Little League, man, he used to kill people. He used to be bad. Then you go on to linemen, man. We got a lot of linemen there out in the league now. A lot of linemen who are doing anything in college who play skill positions.
Mm-hmm.
We got people like Kyle Pitts, man, who he's doing his thing right now. That's my boy. You see this? Shout out to you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And he was playing running back. Bro, he's arguably one of the best tight ends in the league right now, playing running back in the league. So,
but when you really think about it, though, like back in Little League, like the best two players on the team was the quarterback and the running back. Usually, everybody else was like support cast for them.
Correct. We had the people who played everything on the team, man. So my man Sean, he used to play quarterback, running back, receiver, safety, linebacker. Like, literally really taught you everything. But that's why, like, the Bandos was so great to us because, yeah, we played it, but they actually taught us the position. So, like, you got a lot of people, when you get to high school, you realize a lot of people don't really understand football. And it's crazy. You get to high school, you see kids.
College.
Yeah. You see kids who can't get in a 3-point stance. See kids who don't know, like, the real ins and outs, like, who don't know A gap, B gap, C gap. Kids who don't understand play call terminology. So to learn that from the Bandos at a young age, I think it set us ahead of everybody else.
And to take that even a step further, man, I remember, shout out to my man Coach Rob. That was my D-line coach in high school. Then I call him Uncle at this point, man, because it was like another father figure to me. But I remember when I had Coach Rob in high school, he was like, listen, man, I'm going to tell you now, when you get to college, it's going to be a very, very wide gap. It's going to be some kids that, like, look like they know everything and they've done everything before and they're really good talented. There's going to be some kids that, like, their highlight tape was crazy because of who they was playing against, and they're gonna look like they never did this before. Right. You get to college sometimes, bro, you see kids, like, as a lineman, for example. As a defensive lineman, you should be able to get in a stance on both sides comfortably. Like, you should be able to sit in a 3-point stance all day.
Yeah.
There's no reason why at 18 years old, like, it's kids that, like, have to, like, go into the coach's office and practice getting in the left-hand stance. Like, that's kind of scary to me, bro.
Yeah, because, I mean, at the end of the day, they weren't coached right. And there's a lot of kids out here, and it's sad to say, but they're not getting coached right. It's a lot of high school coaches who never played the game. Who don't understand that they're doing it just for another check. And you got some coaches out there who doing this all just for their personal image. Right? They're really pushing kids. They put them in positions they ain't never going to play in college just because they're trying to make their image look better as a coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with all that being said, I really feel for them type kids, man. Because I feel like I was blessed, but I feel for them because there's a lot of kids who want to learn and want to do better, but they can't be put in those positions to be around those good coaches. Because a lot of good coaches is at specific schools now, especially across the city.
Yeah, bro. I always look at it like Philadelphia is such a crazy place because in comparison to other parts of PA or other states where like everybody in the whole area will go to one school or two schools. We got 40, 50, 60 high school football teams. Like, imagine all of those players scattered across the city. And all of those different teams. Like, as much as, yeah, it's cool because you get to, like, cater your high school experience to what you want, like, the football experience would probably be so much crazier. Imagine we had, like, 6 legitimate football teams, and that's all Philadelphia had.
Yeah, I think it would be crazy. Because the talent you have in this city is honestly, it's remarkable. You got kids out here who could be top 10 in the nation, respectfully. Like, I done seen some kids who are doing things I couldn't even imagine doing on the field, man. But they're not going to get the recognition because of the place they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we do got some crazy high schools out there, and they're finally starting to get their recognition, which I think is great and it's love. But I would love to see the whole city get those same things, man. You shouldn't have to go to an MOTEP or St. Joe's Prep to really get those Power 5 offers and be seen the way these kids should be seen.
And I feel like that's a problem, too, because, like, you know, like, a lot of the coaches, like, when they finally recruit some of these Philly schools, sometimes they just kind of get a bad batch. Like, like they'll, like, grab a Philly kid, and for the first time, when they bring them in, there, oh, my God, young boy is eligible. I'm not going to get public league Philly players no more. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, you know, like, players, like, we were, like, not us no more because we're done, but players really need to start taking ownership of that. Like, I need to be the example for the community that's coming after me, because if not, like, the coaches is not going to come back to your high school. Like, you've seen it, bro. Like, coaches, like Cal U, shout out to California University of Pennsylvania, for example. So, there's a good brother, Molly, Jamal Martin, right? Molly went to Academy Park in Delco. For all I know, he was probably like the first Delco player on Cal U's team. Mm-hmm. In the same state, in the conference, they know exactly what Delaware County, PA had, whatever. Molly ended up being an All-American there, Conference Player of the Year. He transferred to Wake Forest, had a great career at Wake Forest. Ended up starting in the Power 5, so that was real big for a PSAC guy. Mm-hmm. All of the conference guys, we all showed him love. Mm-hmm. But after he left, bro, if you go to Cal U's roster right now, they have over 15 kids from Delco because they said, whatever he was drinking, we need to find kids drinking the same water. You know what I mean? So, and that's one of the winningest programs in the whole conference. Mm-hmm. So that just goes to show, like, if you show that you could win somewhere and you show that you could be a good player for somewhere, coaches is going to dip back into that pool. For sure. That's why I be trying to tell these kids, or not tell these young boys, like, you got to take this stuff serious. Like,
and I think we're at a time now where Philly's getting as much exposure as ever. Like, you got people in the league now, like Kyle. You got people like Dre. You got all these different big names in the league and throughout college now, right? You even got people like Key over at Wake Forest now. He doing his thing. You still got Taki over at Georgia doing his thing, man. So because we have so much, I guess, I want to say popularity coming out of Philly now, you are seeing these coaches come in here. Like you said, a lot of these young boys who are in college now have to understand at first, like we was talking about earlier before we even started, their presentation is everything, man.
Everything.
A lot of these young boys are on the gram, they're on Twitter, they're posting up, talking about guns, they posting up on the block, and like, listen, I get that's our culture, but man, if you want to do different and be different, you got to look different. You can't be showing college coaches that side of you, right? Because it's cool, like, you may know that you're not one of them, your family might know you're not one of them, but these people don't know you, and at the end of the day, it's all business.
And that's what I'm trying to say too. Like, a lot of times, like, being as though, like, you're the athlete of your group, you're supposed to be the breadwinner, you're supposed to be the ticket, quote unquote. But you going back to the bro, I post pictures in my Dickie suit, bro. I go to the but the whole having to, like, over exaggerate, over push the situation of more than what it is, like, why do you have to be in the hood with your middle finger up with a caption with all this like, you don't have to do that to look cool for Instagram, bro. Exactly. If you're the top athlete, bro, I promise you the same girls is gonna like your picture. Like, it's not gonna change your face in any way. Like, people still gonna respect you, and the people in your hood is still going to want to see you win. I guarantee you probably get more likes on your football pictures than your block pictures anyway.
Yeah, and to be real, even if you don't, man, why does that matter? We live in such a day and age where...
Why would you want that to be your image anyway?
Literally, it's like, bro, we live in such a day and age where Instagram, Twitter, engagement, all that means so much to people, right? But at the end of the day, man, if your whole goal is to play football, go to college, play football, basketball, any sport, to go to college, man, who cares about people liking your pictures that you posted up on the block, man? You're not a rapper. You're not no drug dealer, so don't try to portray that way.
And that's crazy too, because when you really think about it, like what in the 80s and the 90s when the crack epidemic started, when the drugs started getting into and the drug dealers really started. The drug dealers wanted to be seen as like heroes and people that was taking care of the block and all of that. They didn't want to look like the killers. They didn't want to look like the thugs and like whatever have you. They wanted to be the upstanding role models that the little kids in the area don't know what they do. Why do we have that image right now that like the people who are in the streets want to be feared? Like they don't want they don't want nobody to be able to make eye contact with them. Back then, the old heads in the streets used to tell the ice cream truck park on the block and all the kids in the block eat for free all day.
Man, I think everybody wants to be powerful nowadays, right? And the biggest way to show your power is to be feared. So a lot of people want to portray that persona of like, oh yeah, I'm on my block, I always lie on me, be scared of me, be scared of my group, my people. But like, man, to each his own. But if you are trying to take yourself out of that situation, you shouldn't be presenting yourself that way. Because at the end of the day, man, no one wants to be in poverty. No one.
No.
Like, even them rappers you're emulating, them people you see on the block, no one wants to be in that, right? People are just sitting there, they're portraying their situations, but that's not the goal. So if that's not the end goal, man, don't be out there portraying yourself that way. Don't let anybody, because outside just coaches, man, out after football, after basketball, after whatever sport you're doing, you got to have another life. Imagine if you got all this stuff up on your Instagram, your Twitter, and your now future boss is able to go through and see all that, right?
Because your pages be public.
Be dumb public. And it's like,
your
it's
pages
crazy.
Be public.
Because you want to share
got your real name on it.
Because you want to share it. And how about that? You got Instagram pages is not even your real name. Twitter pages is not even your real name. Your name is Hop Out 5, right? And like some crazy shit. Like, come on, bro.
Like you're an economics major and your name is Jump Out Gang 6, bro.
Real rap.
Come on, bro.
You post it up on the ground with a ski mask on, and it's like, man, at the end of the day, where's your real priorities at? Because when you look at these coaches, and like we said, these coaches are looking at the area as a group, right? They're not going to look at it and be like, Sheir-Ron went to the school and did this, that, and there. They're going to say a kid from Philly. Mm-hmm. So because of that, now I'm sitting there, I'm adding a detriment to every kid in Philly because they're all thinking it's going to be the same as me. And vice versa. Like, so if you're out there portraying that way, you got coaches looking at you and this is what you're looking at now, the next person after you ain't going to have the same opportunity because of the things you did.
Exactly. And I've really seen it happen now, bro. Like, I really seen, like, for example, my freshman year, our coach brought in 40 players from Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. By my next year, there was like 20 of us left. A lot of people was failing out, was ineligible, didn't go to class, going to party, whatever have you, and they didn't take it serious. Now, what I will say is they learned from it. They still recruited Philly, but now you've seen like they leaned a little less from the pub and a little more on the PCL. Mm-hmm. Imagine how many good, because I mean, if I graduated in 2016, 2017 pub was all like a lot. It was Quashaw Carter and when I was here the last time from grads. It was a lot of.
That was my year. 2017 was a good year.
It was a lot. That was the year Bartram was going crazy. There was a lot of good kids in the city. But guess what? Coaches were like, yeah, no, like we're not getting up because they looking at like. Remember, these college coaches have jobs. Like this is their job, so they're investing the school's money. Think about it from an economic standpoint. They're investing the school's money in you. You have to perform. And then as you perform, you get more money or, you know what I mean, you get more recognition, whatever. But if you don't pan out for the 4 years, if you don't perform well, if you don't play, if you don't make the team, if you suck, if you get injured, that's money in the trash.
What are you talking, man? Like, I want some of the kids, like, especially the ones who are fortunate you're receiving scholarships, right? I want you to look at the exact amount because it shows you on your scholarship how much it's worth per year, man. That's a lot of money, like. I remember that number. It's ingrained in my head. New Hampshire was $55,891 a year, right? That's ingrained in my head.
Hold on.
Like,
run that number back,
bro. $55,891 a year. That's what it covered, right? Mm-hmm. Man, that ends up being over damn near $250,000 invested in you. these college coaches is looking at it like that. Like, yeah, you're a person, but man, you are property at this point, man, because it's what you can do for them and what they can do for you.
It's an investment.
Literally, it's all business. My coach of New Hampshire was the one who taught me that, and like I always heard it, but he made it real cut, clear, simple for me. He was like, "Listen, if you don't pan out, I look bad. If I look bad, I lose my job. I lose my job, I can't feed my family.
And you're not gonna come in between me and feeding my family.
You now have a child. Congrats to you on that, as always. But you know how that feels. You can't.
You gotta respect
stop
that.
you from feeding your family, man.
And you gotta respect that. Like, as crazy as it sounds, you really gotta respect that. Like,
You got to.
Like, I really look at it like when I go into work every day, I log, like, I work remote, so I log in, I open my computer, like, first thing I do, I roll out of bed, I look at my computer. All right, if I don't have any meetings scheduled before 10 o'clock, I'll reach out to my manager. Yo, I got an hour, I got some bandwidth, is there anything you need me to do, something I could learn, something I could pick up, whatever, I might have to log in and do some courses, whatever. I'm getting the most out of my time, I'm making myself look as valuable as possible, and I'm getting the most out of my day every day. I work from home, and I got my young boy home with me, so, I get to save a couple dollars on daycare, but it's the thought that, like, I try to get the most out of everything I'm doing because I'm not going to fall short. It was the same approach in the weight room. I was the first kid in the weight room. I was the workout warrior. Like, I was never, like, the most talented superstar kid, but I knew if I was going to work as hard as I could, I wasn't going to be denied. You feel me? And that translated directly to the work world because I've never been the smartest guy in the room since I started working. I've never been the most, whatever, but every time I go to work, my coworkers, when I was running my store, when I had my part timers, whatever I had, everybody would tell you that, like, I'm the most passionate employee that's gonna be there because I know that I have a family to feed at the end of the day, and nobody at any job is gonna deny me that. So we make it from the North Philly Bantams. I mean, no, the Mount Airy Bantams. Mount Airy Bantams, not the North Philly.
We're in Uptown, Mount Airy.
Vernon Road, my fault. Big Uptown vibe. So the Mount Airy Bantams. We have a great career there, a good experience, have a lot of lifelong friends that you made and you met there, and some way, somehow, you make it to Delaware Valley Charter High School. Rest in peace to Del Valle.
Long live Del Valle. I will say, if the pub didn't shut them down, oh my God, this city was in for it. Yo, this city was in for it. True, they were taking over.
And the thing is, bro, Del Valle was always a good team. So I went to prep charter, so that was our rival team. Like after Imhotep moved up, and none of us had to deal with them no more.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like as much as I enjoyed, because I wasn't one of them dudes that was scared of Imhotep. Like I used to walk into that game like, this is where I'm gonna get my highlight. Like this is where I'm gonna put myself on the map. But when they moved up, I didn't hate it.
Man, I'll be real. No one was scared of Imhotep, but the thing that comes with that is, the depth they had on their team is ridiculous. And it's like, at Del Valle, I'm so upset we didn't get to play them because our year, that was the last game of the season. It was sold out like 2 weeks prior. It was so big. You've been to Germantown Super Site. That game was so big, they had to open all 3 gates for Germantown. Like, everybody knows they only opened one. Like, they had to open all 3 for that one. But that was the first year we've been able to play where I felt like, hey, this is a team that we actually have the depth to match theirs. Go back my freshman year, we played them state playoffs. Man, we ain't have no depth to match theirs. Going to halftime, it's like 14-13. We're like, yeah, we're there. But that second half,
that's how we always go.
They running backs, they're 4 deep with D1 running backs. Some of them barely even touch the field, so they coming in hungry. They got best tight end in the nation. They coming in there, best D-line in the nation. Now, NFL receivers, man. So to have depth with that was scary.
and that translates to every level, too. Like, so, I went to Lockheed. We was one of the bottom of the conference. But at the end of the day, we had some pretty good football players in our team, right? We was just talking about the fact that, like, when you get to college, like, you'll see that it's really some balls. Like, it's really going to be some balls on every roster. But
no doubt, the coldest player I didn't play with, man. I didn't play with a lot of good players. The coldest player I didn't play with, his name is Trevor Knight, quarterback. He's from New Hampshire. I swear this white boy will shake you out your shoes, bro. I have never seen nothing like this in my life, man.
Bro, it's crazy, bro, because, like, That's kind of how it was for me in college, bro. But we get there and we're playing against, let's say, like a team like IUP. IUP is just like in the first quarter, the score will be 7-7. We had forced a turnover, all of that. But the thing is, they'll make subs and there's no drop off.
Yeah.
Then they'll make subs and there's no drop offs. Then they make subs and there's no drop offs, bro. And like by the time the third quarter come, like they kick off and kick return teams is people that could have started for us. You feel me? Like, and I feel like that's the big difference maker. Like when you realize that on the really, really good teams, it's just a matter of like they just have more depth than y'all do.
Yeah. At Del Valle, so Del Valle was there my senior year. My first 3 years, I was over at Springfield Township. Shout out them too, man. Springfield Township High School. That helped me with a lot. That was a school that really showed me how important it was to be in the weight room. Because my first 3 years there, their heavy emphasis was weight room, right? So I was in the weight room all the time, lifting. I wasn't in there lifting in the off season. I was on the track doing something. There was constant movement. Then when I got to Del Valle, that's where I say I saw that culture shift. Del Valle culture was we're on the field all the time, right? Or we're doing calisthenics stuff. It was not as much weight room emphasis, right? And that's also like we were talking about that depth. That's when it came into like end game. We weren't really conditioned the same way a couple of these schools were. So at Del Valle that year, we had Troy Gore as our coach. Shout out Troy. Everybody know Troy.
Yeah, Coach Troy.
Everybody know Troy.
High school. Big dog.
Big dogs doing their thing over there now. But the way Triz had it set up, man, we had everything but a national schedule. We had national recognition everywhere we went. Had these kids from Del Valle.
A lot of kids from Del Valle had scholarships.
You know, shout out Triz too, because all 19 of our seniors that year went to college. All 19 of our football team, man. And that's where there's some people who give him hell, man, especially on our team coming up. But, I commend him, man, because he got every single one of us to school. He held his promise to us. I'll never forget when he came up to me. I met him the first time. He said, listen, I'm going to get you to school. So I'm going to get you D1. And even if I don't get you D1, you're going to school for free. And he held his promise for that. So, and the culture, like I was saying before, it was different. Man, you got there, it was a heavy emphasis on the field. I kind of would take charge and lead in the weight room and be like, hey, no, we got to lift. Not just lift smooth 25 on your side. No, you're a starter. Let's actually lift. Get stronger, get bigger, get faster. Show these college coaches that you have a drive in the weight room. Because like you said, everybody don't got that. And some kids got to learn it.
Man, my head coach in high school, Coach Hand, man, he dropped the check on our team, man. Like our whole weight room, when you would walk in, that was all him. He paid for everything in there because, like, it was just a little storage room, bro. Like, it was a squat rack in there because of him, a bench press in there because of him, a Smith machine because of him. Like, he came up with the whole weight room program for us. He wanted to make sure we was working, bro.
That's love.
Now, before we got there, like, it was a very, like, shout out to Coach Beatty when he was at, he ended up going to Chester before Coach Hand took over. But Coach Hand really took the emphasis on the fact that, like, he went to St. Joe's Prep in high school, and then he went to LaSalle when they still had a football team back in the day. He was a quarterback. Coach Hand was raw back in the day. So I don't like, he don't get a lot of credit for how good of a football player he was, bro. Look up David Hand. Coach Hand was one of them in the biddy before he became one of the best offensive minds in Philadelphia. He's the head coach of School of the Future right now. Got a lot of respect for Coach Hand, a lot of appreciation for you. But I'll tell you, man, Coach Hand loved our team so much. He had kids that, like, he was a special ed teacher at the school or something like that. He used to wake up in the morning, drive around, like, it was like 2 or 3 kids. Like, we used to get a trizzy every day. We used to get a transpass every week. It was kids that used to still oversleep and be late for school. Right? He used to drive people to school so they wouldn't have detention and miss practice.
That's beautiful, man.
Like, Coach Hand lived right at the edge of Southwest, like 10 minutes from the school. He would still pull up right before 8 o'clock every day because he had to pick up like 4 or 5 people every day. Like, he had I forgot what he had, a Honda or Hyundai or something, little small John, bro. My boy KK Gramo used to scoop him every day. Couple of them, bro. I never got the Coach Hand ride because my mom was kicking my room door down at 6 a.m. I was getting to school. But no, bro, Coach Hand really took care of the guys, man. He really did what he had to do. And then you saw when he went to Bartram the difference he made down there, bro. Like Bartram always, like, in the hood, Southwest, like, Growing up, we all wanted to play for the neighborhood school, but the opportunity to play at a good education school too also came up.
Mm-hmm.
But when Coach Hand took a lot of our players down to Bartram for their senior year, I think it was 2017 season. Well, like 2016 fall, 2017 graduating class.
That turnaround was crazy there.
Bartram was nasty fast.
No one thought about Bartram at all until like my senior year. It's like they just shot out the map. Like they had the QB,
That was my
little brother, man, and like they just shot out of nowhere. And then even the years after that, they just been going up and up and up.
And since then, man, shout out to Jim Chapman when Coach Chap and after Coach Chap, that was Coach Chap's program the whole time. But Coach Hand came over, the hand that feeds, he kind of, put the golden touch on him. You feel me? He brought all our guys over there. So my boy, Mahmoud was the quarterback from Prep. My boy Shamir was the leading receiver on the team. He transferred from Prep. My cousin ID transferred there. He ended up being like the single season school receiving record the next year, his senior year. My boy Rome played on the D line, O line a little bit. My man Ian played D line, a little bit of O line. Like a lot of our dudes, like a lot of the key young boys that came up with us and we watched mold and grow up, they went to Bartram and like we had like 20 seniors my senior year at Prep Charter.
Yeah.
So like when we graduated, a lot of them was like our young boys that like some of them played, some of them didn't, and when they went to Bartram, they just all like was the whole all pub team, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's dope.
Yeah, bro. But I really like always say that like Coach Hand was one of them people that he did a lot for me. Obviously, like I don't know, I can't thank him enough, bro. But back to Mr. Sheir-Ron, man. Back to Sheir-Ron.
My fault, man. No. I got sidetracked. Back to Del Valle. So Del Valle, man, that I will say when I transferred there, it was on. No time. Like it went from at Springfield, I was getting letters, right? I was getting a lot of recruitment, but the minute I transferred to Del Valle, I mean, like, I transferred, so we had our little, like, semester system, really marking periods, but it was, like, the middle. And I transferred in, like, February. By April, 3 offers, like, 6 different school visits. Like, Troy had us on go, man. So that whole off-season, junior year leading into senior year, we were, like, Del Valle was on the map. And it was crazy to see because before, of course, the whole city knows about Imhotep, but we go into these different camps and stuff, and the kids are like, "Yo, y'all go to Del Valle." Like kids from Jersey, like, "Oh, you go to Del Valle." Like, "Oh, how you know what Del Valle is?"
Mm-hmm.
We had a national schedule, so we played Aquinas up in New York. Hell of a game, man. Even while we were out there, Syracuse showed us love. We got to go to the Syracuse game. We got to watch Lamar have his Heisman moment live, man. That was love.
That was crazy.
In that end zone, too, when he jumped over the ball. We got to watch that live. Also, we played, who else? Haverford was a huge game, man.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about, did they still have Doc Aiken at that time? Or did he already finish the receiver ball?
No, he was going. They had my man Malik Twyman, man.
I know that name.
He ended up going to Colgate.
Hell of a ball player. I know that name.
Their team, that was our second game of the season. We started off that year playing Newman Goretti. We torched them. Newman just wasn't where they should have been. Second game of the season, we had Haverford, right? Now, I'll never forget because Troy tried to make this. I'm sorry, I laugh at it now, but Troy tried to make this a race game. Like, he was like, no, like, we're from the city. Like, this is our time. They're from outside the city, black versus white. He tried to make it kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Went out there, and them boys torched us, bro. Because torched us, bro. Couldn't do nothing. I say we had 2 D1 linebackers, 3 D1 D linemen. I'm in the back end at safety corner. We got nothing. I'm thinking like, yeah, man, it's about to be runs. We about to run through them. Torture us. That game is what showed me the difference in real discipline on that field and how much it matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our team wasn't disciplined. And how much that discipline goes deeper than just on the field, right? Mm-hmm. It goes into everyday life, like how late are we to practice, right? How do we run our practices? Are we organized on all fronts? Do we show up to school on time? Do we show up to class on time? All of those things play a factor in how disciplined you are on that football field. And it took that game for us to all really realize that. Because after that game, you could see a switch. Like, the switch flipped in a lot of people. Because that school, I can't even lie, man. That school, it wasn't a good learning environment. And that's why I kind of feel for a couple of kids who was there who could have went higher, who could have did a lot more, but it was hard to learn there. Kids weren't forced to be in class. It was times where we didn't have teachers. Like, I showed up to class senior year, like my whole second semester. I didn't have a social studies teacher or history teacher the entire second semester.
That's nuts.
Yeah, dude quit like third day into the second semester and didn't have a single teacher the entire rest of the year. We just show up and sit in the class.
And it's crazy too, because I remember, I'm not gonna speak on, I'm not gonna say who, but my buddy even told me, he was like, yeah, bro, like we used to just wake up, go to school, we used to shoot dice in the bathroom, all that.
Yo, I thought it was like that.
I thought he was lying, bro.
Yo, that school was like, it was like being in the hood, bro. Like half the students in the gym playing basketball, the other half in the lunchroom gambling, playing cards, doing a whole bunch of different stuff. But all we'll say is, after that loss to Haverford, you saw a switch flip for a lot of us. Right? Mm-hmm. A lot of us were like, listen, we want to take this further, and we know what just happened wasn't acceptable. Right?
Yeah.
So after that switch, you saw it flip, and things just turned around greatly. We went up to Aquinas. We ended up losing that game to Aquinas, but Aquinas was ranked like number 2 in the state of New York that year. They were nationally ranked. We lost on the end of the game because my man Kyrie pancaked somebody and broke his leg, and they felt bad and called a flag. It was crazy. They felt bad, called a flag, but even with that loss, man, you're a player, so you know the difference in feeling between getting bombed on and a good loss. Like, you're like, all right, we fought our hardest, we did everything right, but sometimes it don't fall in your favor.
Damn, I didn't hear that name in some years, man. I remember because I played D-line, so I used to, Kyrie Wade, right?
Yeah, my man. Really, I talked to you the other day, too. He's still doing his thing. He's down at Southern now, man.
He was a really good, shout out. You probably don't remember. I played against him, bro. He was a good ball player, bro.
Hell of a ball player, man.
You know what I mean, bro? Damn, bro. you just cracked open the memory, man. Because, bro, I tell you, bro, we used because you wasn't there for like that era. We used to go against Dub out, man. We used to hate that school, bro. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, I came the year right after. So the year before the team I was on in Springfield, we actually was supposed to play y'all in the playoffs. Like, the winner of that game.
Yeah.
Troy, he had told me when he came to visit me after the season, he was like, yeah, I was actually at your game, like your playoff game. You guys were supposed to play us and all that. And y'all had some battles. I will say that. I remember back the old Delval days when my man Nate was on the team. Shout out Nate. Mm-hmm. And they had some squads, but y'all had some real squads, man.
Bro. It was such a good time at prep, bro. I remember, I feel like that's one of the most untold stories in Philadelphia. It's never gonna happen again, bro. If I tell you, bro, if I was a millionaire today, I kind of be looking at shout out to the Morris twins. Obviously, they went to my high school. Mm-hmm. I don't even know that, bro. The Morris twins,
they didn't know.
They've been in the NBA. They got drafted in 2012, bro. Yeah. So they've been in the NBA for 10 years, bro. Listen, guys, if y'all are seeing this, bro, can y'all come, just drop off a couple dollars at the school, bro? Help us rebuild the athletic program down there, bro. It's right in the middle of South Philly. It's a good location, beautiful school, great teachers, bro. They deserve to have good programs like there, man. Y'all 07 state championship banner up there. That's the last one they ever got, bro. Beautiful gym. They might even pay for that gym. But, it's crazy that I went there for 4 years. I never met them, bro.
Yeah.
We used to look up to them and we used to pop, they went to our school, you feel me? But, it would have been so great if they would have been able to reach back and help us out, bro. Because the trustees and all of them at that school, bro, I don't really think they got the athletes in mind, bro. I walked into the football team is no more. They collab with Southern now. I would love to see them get their own football team back. Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's, to me, certain schools like that losing their team is crazy. But it's so much you can do because you got teams out there now like Emotep, where all the kids in the city, like you said, we don't have no real restrictions in the city as to where you can go. Mm-hmm. Especially when you talk about these charter schools. Mm-hmm. So you got a team like Emotep where you're able to go across the entire city, pick and choose who you want. And now there's so much of a machine that they don't even got to do it. The kids doing it themselves. They coming up 7th, 8th grade no, I want to go to Emotep. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go to this neighborhood school. I don't even want to go to a Catholic school.
But and the thing is though, that was kind of our motivation though, because I remember most of our team, most of our main primary unit, all played on the same middle school team together.
Yeah.
And it was like, we just, like, let me see, it was like 2011 and 2010 type group, yeah, because when I graduated in middle school, 8th grade of 2012, I played for the West Philly Wolverines, and we used to play against, like, the Southwest Jaguars. So that whole Southwest Jaguars team, my man Kel, my man Tim, my man Dolo, all of our old heads, bro, they all played for that team, and they all said, yo, we're all going to prep charter together because we all want to be the same team. They all went there. Then the next year, the whole team went, and me and a couple of my homies, we all went, and, like, basically, like, we just took ownership of the fact that, like, we're going to win the year together. Like, and I feel like that's, like, with the transfer portal, with, like, powerhouse schools, I feel like that's one of the main things that teams is lacking. Like, the fact that, like, we want to come in, turn something around, build it up, and win something with our name on it. You know what I mean? Because unless you're a DJ Moore, unless you're a DJ Moore, unless you're a Kyle Pitts, like, the rest of y'all that go there is just gonna be remembered as Imhotep. Like, y'all are not, like, I don't feel like when you go to, like, a superstar program like that, because again, I understand that, like, you know, it's about the team at the end of the day. It's about the team, but, like, it's better to be remembered. I feel like when you walk into your high school and every single teacher still remembers you, and every single teacher loves you because they remember what you did at that school and before that school.
Exactly. It makes you feel at home because, like you said, you know more sons went to your school. Like, everyone outside doesn't always know that, but you know that because you know what it did for your school and how it put you guys on the map. Same way with Imhotep, you're going to hear about DJ all day, every day.
When they had hundreds of good football players.
Yeah, they had, to be real, they had so many good players on that team. DJ name wasn't really popping until senior year.
And that's what Justin was trying to tell me, I believe last week when I interviewed him. He was like, yeah, bro, like, when I went to Imhotep, DJ was one of the freshmen on our team. Like, he said, like, I kind of didn't even believe that that's what that was and that's what he was doing. Like, because he was just one of the young boys on the team. Like,
yeah, they had players, bro. Like,
bro, I remember, I think it was, my 10th grade year, was playing against them. And, man, I forgot, what was Buddy's name? DeAndre Scott. He was like the renowned boy, like the hard hitter. Well, no, a lot of y'all probably seen him on the gram. He I think they back together now.
Yeah, him and Drew.
Yeah, they back together. You know, shout out to my boy Drew. Drew was actually supposed to play quarterback at Lockheed. He actually committed there.
He played QB at Del Valle, man.
He was up there with me in the summer program in high school. He used to, summer before freshman year, I think he, like, transferred, and then he kind of, like, you know, tried the music thing took off. Happy for him.
Did his thing.
You know what I mean? But, man, I remember, bro, like, they had, I forgot, what was his name? Yeah, DeAndre Scott, like I said. Bro, running every kickback, smacking everybody, bro. DJ Moore was, like, the second fiddle recruit on that team.
For real, at that time, like, third. And it's crazy to say because I know him. You still got Pop on that team that year who was crazy just because of his size, the position he played. It's like a lot of names. You had people on that team too, like, and they entire O line that year went D1,
left to right,
like left to right, like every single one of them. And it's crazy because it's like, yo,
the running back room, like Mike Waters was Mr. PA football, but he was the backup running back. A lot of people don't even know the fact that Talik Rayner was the
number one.
I mean,
and even before him, they still had Nas Bonner there. Their team was crazy.
And the thing is, I remember when Del Valle was really, like, trying to flip the switch. That's when Nas transferred to Del Valle. You know what I mean? So I remember our coach put all this hectic. So he was like, remember that running back from Imhotep? He's still on y'all asses. He's still coming for y'all. Yeah, Del Valle. He said he about to win pub MVP. This, that, and the third. Y'all don't let that happen. Shout out to Nas Bonner. He ended up being a cool dude too. I think we still got each other on social media. But he was a hell of a football player too, bro. He was a really good running back, bro.
Can we talk about that though? How in the city they try to make little rivalries out of people who, like, it's crazy because at Del Valle, they try to make a little rivalry out of me and so many players at Tech because they were supposed to be our rival, right? And then shout out my man Mike Crawford, bro. They tried to put me in. I'll never forget. We'd be in school. They FaceTiming each other, putting me on the phone, put him on the phone, trying to make a little beef because we both played corner at the time, man. He ended up being one of the coolest dudes I ever fucking met, man. He ended up coming up to New Hampshire at the same time as me. Same team. So to hear, like, that same type story is funny to me because, like, yo, there's so much animosity in this city that they put against each other, right? Where, like you said before, we had like 6 teams in this city. I think Philadelphia would be known as one of the best football cities in the country, to be honest.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I say it all the time, bro. Like, if we didn't have to be split into 40 teams, bro, we probably would be one of the best football cities in the country, bro. Like, and if you're not good enough, don't play.
Honestly,
that's how I see it, bro.
The
like,
prime, Coach Prime type shit, man. If you
Yeah.
ain't good enough, don't play. But we have the athletes in this city that can compete with anywhere else in the country. You talk Texas, Cali. You got kids now who's going over to Cali to play, and they starting immediately.
Like going to modern day all them schools and being
starting,
the man,
being the bull. And it's like that tells you everything you need to know about Philadelphia football, man. How good we are, for real, how athletic the kids are here, how in tune they are, even down to the coaching now. Like back when we was younger, coaching wasn't all the way A1, but now, the coaches in the city are doing their thing. We got people who are our age who are getting back into coaching, which I think is dope, man. And I think that's what's really going to change the culture around here.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. I just posted that video today on the gram, actually, because this is really the concept that, like, if you are a good football player and you play and you have your whole career, why would you want your little brothers, your little cousins, your young boys in your neighborhood to get coached by the old head that just like football and is an Eagles fan and not somebody that actually played college ball?
Exactly.
Because when I went to my little brother practices, bro, like when my little brother played his senior year, I kind of like overstepped the boundaries of his coaches, and I was like, no, you're doing this, you're doing that. This is what college coaches want to see. Do this, we're doing that. Because even though I wasn't his position coach, I'll be damned if I see my little brother be a step behind because of somebody else. You know what I mean? Like my little brother called me today. They just put in like a little. I'm not about to snitch. They got the game in a couple
We'll
days.
see it next week.
You know what I mean? But my little brother got a game next week, and he like, yeah, like like I'm like we're gonna be doing a little bit of a twist, this, that, and that. I'm not telling you where you're lining up at, but I'm like, yeah, but I remember I learned this from this one coach, and it worked for me every time. And I sent him 3 clips on my phone, and he like, damn. And then the next day he'll send me a clip of him doing it in practice and trying it out, and you're not getting that from somebody if your older brother. My older brother didn't play college football. My older brother ran track. You feel me? So I wasn't able to get them type of gems from my brother. Mm-hmm. Now, portray that over to the hood. Imagine being able to do that for 30, 40, 50, 60 kids.
Yeah, right.
Imagine being able to send 30, 40, 50, 60 kids D1. Like, you know everything that it needs to go D1 or go D2. You're not going to make the mistakes. Or if your coach didn't handle recruiting right and didn't understand the social media part of recruiting, all of that.
No, that's big now, too.
You know how to do that, bro. As a young player that graduates, if you're just back in the city on the block doing nothing, bro, go back to the school, bro. Be an aide at the school, security guard or something. Work at the school and be a coach, bro. You're gonna get paid. You're gonna have a good job. Might be able to get an education. Might be able to get advancement in your career. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, you're not gonna have to take credit for it, but you're gonna be a part of a lot of these kids' success stories, bro.
And that's my whole thing now. Like, yeah, even though in NFL, just like I had those thoughts, I know you had those thoughts. We all think that way while we're playing. But the reality of it is, we're not gonna play this sport forever, right? And when this sport is over for us, for some of us, it's over at 30. For some of us, it's over at 21. Some of us is over at 18 when we done high school. That don't mean
your life is over.
And like, that's the biggest thing with it all is, when you're done playing the sport, your life in the sport don't gotta be over. You can always do something that is adjacent to the sport or even right within the sport that can help, right? Whether that's you want to go back and be a coach or, say, like you said, different little stuff, little niches, little things about D-line, O-line. I know little things about safety, corner. Whenever I see young boys out, y'all need some work, all right, I got you. Let's help. Shout out my man Jack Duncan, right? All the time, yeah, Jack's help people out, man. Why not? Because at the end of the day, all it's doing is helping the later generation move forward. Because I don't want to see those kids make the same mistakes I made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see them kids go out there and not accomplish their dreams because of the smallest little things, right? And we know how real these college coaches are on those small things, right? Mm-hmm. It can be the littlest thing on film, and the college coach be turned off about you. Be the littlest thing in the classroom, and the college coach turned off on you. It'd be the littlest thing on your social media, and the college coach not liking you. Right?
Yes.
So if you have a chance to go out and help the youth, do it, man.
And again, and I'm not saying for everybody got to be a coach, everybody, but it could be something that you could do to help. Now, before we get too far in, obviously not an advertisement, but I just want to give you guys a quick rundown. He brought up Jackson. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown about what Jackson does, his program, and just in case anybody want to help him out as well. So Jackson runs an organization called Focused Athletics. It actually got started a lot of years back. My old head, it was him and my other old head, Benji. Shout out to Michael Gillespie. Benji was my old wide receiver and DB coach, and he used to take us to Penn Park to do a little bit of footwork and do a little bit of route running, whatever, to get us on the ladders. Because I was the lineman that wanted to be a receiver bad. You feel me? Like junior year, I didn't even play O-line. Like I was a receiver that didn't get in and a D lineman. You feel me? But we used to go down to the field with Benji. We used to do our work, and then eventually Jack started coming around because Jack was his teammate from JUCO. So Jack comes around and he's helping Benji out, taking the linemen and doing the little lineman drills. But Jack was really a wrestler. He loved football, but football wasn't his heart. But it was all of the stuff that came around it. He loved being around football still. So fast forward, Benji ends up moving to Florida, training down there. I think he moved back. I'm not sure if he did. He ended up working with Newman Goretti basketball too, with Quade, all of those guys. But Jack kind of took on the mantle of all of the different kids that needed help with different avenues from them workouts. Like there was one kid that needed SAT prep, so he knew it was just I have a friend that has a friend. All right, I know this person, and they a smart person from University of Penn. They can help you with your SAT prep. Oh, dang. Hey, I need SAT prep help, too. And next thing you know, you got a whole domino effect of 20, 30, 50 kids that needed SAT prep help, that needed, tutoring, that needed transportation to get to workouts.
If you needed a meal, Jack was there to get you.
By the end of the next few years, he had partnerships with Cordoba, a bunch of other places downtown where kids could come down every weekend, get a free workout, and come down and go home with their stomach full. You know what I mean? He used to give kids a token or whatever. Like the goal of the organization is to provide athletic and academic resources to students in the greater Philadelphia area that are in need. And I feel like Focused Athletics is doing a hell of a job for our communities. Helped hundreds of student athletes in the city.
It helped me personally. If you need just a first-hand account, I'm there for you, man. Jack did countless things for us, man. Like I said, at Del Valle, we weren't always the best education-wise. So I can name hella names off of my team, right? I'm not going to go into all of them, but we had about, I'll say 9, 10 kids from my team alone that would show up there just
every week.
Every week.
Shout out to my boy Fritz Kell.
Fritz Kell.
Bro, me and Fritz Kell used to get into it, bro. I mean, that was my boy. He used to be able to eat like a horse, bro. I remember when I got to college, I peeped Fritz Kell. He was like probably 250, 260 in high school. He got to college. He popped out like 340, bro. He's huge,
bro.
He was a great football player. I think he was like a 3-4 year starter, like a real good player at the end of the day. But good guy too.
Yo, little side note, Fritz Kell, he didn't play football at all until Del Valle. At all. And it's so funny because like I said, like my junior year getting there, we were straight thrown in the ringer. A bunch of college visits. The first visit I had when I got to Del Valle was Rutgers. Showed up to Rutgers. This was when Chris Ash first got hired there. They had brand new area. They were in front of every single coach. Coach somehow, some way calls on Fritz Kell. Like, everybody stand up, tell me your name and one of your stats from last year. He stands up and says, "My name is Fritz Kelly Evans. I had 2 tackles and 1 QB sack last year." Everybody looking around like, "Bro, that's it?"
Yo, bro, the thing is, bro, if you know Fritz Kell, he was probably so dead ass.
Like, straight face, nothing else to it.
Bro, I can just imagine
everybody.
I know.
I can do nothing but laugh. We come out, we tell Troy. Troy is like, "You told him what?"
Bro, I can just imagine Fritz, bro, because like I'll tell you, bro, Fritz Kell is like one of those, like he's like the friendly giant kind of guy, like super friendly, bro. He'll give you his jacket off his back. You feel me? Great dude, man. Shout out to Fritz Kell. One of the most genuine dudes I ever met. But bro, even down to that story, he's super genuine. Bro. He gonna tell you like it is, like, bro. Like some people would lie on the job, and Fritz Kell looking right. I could just imagine.
I'm not gonna lie. When the coach asked me that, I had a little used to it. Like, he asked me, I was like, man, I had about 7 picks. Like,
14 pass breakups.
I mean, like, it might have been only about like 5, but you know, I'm gonna add a little bit on there. We in the big stage right now. Nah, not for him. You not lying.
He said I had 1 sack.
Ain't no cap in his rap, man. He ain't doing all that.
Oh man, shout out to Fritz Cal, man. Like I said, that was really my boy, man. Good dude, but no, bro. I can really picture Fritz exactly in that moment, bro. Standing up, real tall, real confident coach. Like, oh my God, that's a beast. I can't wait to hear him 42 sacks.
Yeah, everybody looked at him like he was about to say 100 tackles in a year.
He stood up. I had 1 sack.
Like, whoa, you said what?
He said, but I'm going to have more next year.
And he ain't live, man. He did his thing.
Yeah. No, bro, Fritz was a really good ball player, bro. Like, I'll tell you, like, because I think he redshirted his freshman year. His sophomore year, I don't know if I never played against Cal U. But I seen, like, his clips on social media, bro. He was, like, just built like a college offensive lineman. Like, great footwork, great hands, man. And I'm happy he had a good career, bro. He ended up starting, like I said, like 30, 40 games.
He worked his behind off, bro. Like, when I tell you, when I got there, he didn't really understand a lot of that. Like, he didn't really understand the footwork, the terminologies, all the way. But his work ethic, it was out of this world.
But that was my lifting partner. Like, I used to be in the gym with Fritz Cal when we used to work out at CrossFit U City. With Jack.
That's the OG spot, man.
All y'all young boys that go to Focus now, y'all know nothing about CrossFit
y'all
U City,
nice, man. We used to push the sled out back in the alleyway, man.
I used to pull up the CrossFit U City, like, peak game. This in high school. I didn't even used to know how to do pull-ups, bro, at that point. We used to have to do 10, like, we had a workout, matter of fact, it was called Death by Power Clean, bro. Bro, listen. My homie Shaheem in Harrisburg. Shout out to my boy Shy Money Man. He a CrossFitter now. When we was at CrossFit, bro, we had this joint called, like, that was the first time I heard the term EMOM, every minute on the minute. So it would start from like 2. You had to do 2 power clean and 2 burpees, and then run up the block and run back. Like, you had to like run a quarter mile, so it was like run up the block and run back, and you got to get there by the time the bell ring, right? So, like, every round, like, they would, like, add a certain increment of time, but not too much. Mm-hmm. So, like, let's say it got to, like, 6. You would have to do 6 perfect reps of a power clean, run up the block, and run back. So, like, they tell you, like, yo, this is about, like, who's going to tap out first. They had, like, 30 barbells in there, and they said, basically, like, everybody make sure, like, you pick a weight that you can do 30, 40, 50 reps of. Mm-hmm. Big dog Fritz Cal, big dog Casey, they want to do like 225 just because they know how to lift it. Bro, I have, like, he was like, bro, the CrossFitters are using like 135, 105, 95. It's not about how much weight you can do. He's like, yeah, watch this. Boom. Beautiful rep. All right, run up the block and run back. Round 2. We get to like round 5, round 6. What was that? Bro, them jobs was not coming up as easy. You feel what I'm saying? I got my 135, bro. When I tell you, I got to like 9, bro. I was seeing stars, bro. I never imagined how much pain could come from power clean, bro. They said rep 8. Like, you know, the stand up of the power clean, bro.
I did that workout probably twice. Like, that whole circuit. Mm-hmm. Did it probably twice. I think the furthest I made it was like round 6. Like, bro, round 6.
I used 135, bro. That's why, bro. Like, I made it to round 9. It was me and this one dude. He was like an engineer or something, bro. He was about 5'7", about 130, soaking wet. But he was like, them CrossFitters be chiseled, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I could ever give up beef and broccoli, bro, I would be a CrossFitter, bro. I admire them so much, bro.
Right.
Bro. Cause the stuff that they have to do, bro, like I'm about 270, 280 pounds, bro. I finally can do dips now, pull-ups on a regular now. I cannot do a muscle up. They do muscle ups with the rings, bro. Like, push their whole bodies through some rings, bro. You know how hard that probably is?
Yeah, bro. I didn't try it.
Like it's rings hanging from string, bro. Like, really think about how hard that is, bro. And then they be doing the whole rope climb up to the ceiling, touch the roof, and come back down.
When I was up at UNH, man, I used to play around in the gymnastics gym, because it was right next to our locker room. So I'll go in there and play around on the rings and all. Yo, that is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I was looking at these girls. These girls about 5'2", 120. They easy work. I'm like, yo, like, yo.
But that's why I respect people from other sports. I always tell you, like, you don't understand how much of a beast these other athletes are until you meet them.
Right.
When I was in college, I was a sport administration major after I changed my major, and I was in class with a lot of the wrestlers. Now, you know, our wrestling team was beasts, like scary good, bro. Like Lock Haven, PA is called Macktown, USA. like we was a Division II school in every sport but field hockey and wrestling. The wrestling team had season ticket holders.
Hey, yo.
Bro, when we had the Whiteout versus Rutgers, and it was like WrestleMania. It was everybody.
Oh, y'all had a whiteout for wrestling?
Yes, bro. Like, sold out, like, people standing on the floor, on the balcony, all that. So, I had class with the wrestlers, right? We had the one dude, Chance Marsteller. Like, couple teeth missing, angry dude, you feel me? Buddy was like an All-American every year, national placing, like, damn near in the Olympics. Like, he's still, like, nationally ranked to this day. So I'm in the gym one day. It's me and my boy Gary. We leave the weight room and we go to the sauna to go get a little bit of sweat. Now we walk into the sauna, bro. Why is this man Chance Marsteller in the sauna with a little what's the the little bikes that blow the air at you? What's them Jones called? The assault bikes.
Yeah.
Bro, he on the assault bike in the middle of the sauna that's on flame, bro. Going crazy on the assault bike with a credit card scraping off his sweat because he wanted to make sure he could sweat as much as possible. He said, yeah, bro. If I got a match on Saturday, I don't eat anything besides water and jello after like Wednesday. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, bro, I gotta lose weight. He's like, yeah, bro, they would go from like 170 pounds to 155. And then after they weigh in, like, they'll gain 15 pounds over the weekend from eating because they finally allowed to eat again, bro.
Things they be going through in other sports is crazy. We football players, so of course. Like,
we blessed we allowed to eat, man.
Like, listen, especially me, I ain't on no weight loss. Like, y'all linemen, sometimes y'all had to watch y'all to eat. I was on weight gain. And let me tell you, yo, you don't understand how hard it is to eat a lot until you are forced to eat a lot. Like, they had me on 5,000 calories a day up there.
That's nuts.
Yo, I didn't think it was crazy until I had to do it. Like, I was going to the dining hall, getting in 6 meals. End of the day, checking my joints, they had me logging all my calories into my MyFitnessPal app.
Still 3,800.
Yo, yeah, literally, still 3,800. All right, I need to get another 1,200 in. It's now 9 o'clock. I get another 1,200 in before I go to bed. What I do, go to McDonald's. Grab a couple McGriddles. Like, and then my coach was getting so bad that, like, first couple months in, I only gained, like, 6 pounds. Like, nothing crazy. I was at, like, 178, something like that.
Bro, I was like my man B-More, bro. Bro, he
I
had
was
to
at
pull up to the
178.
coach's office to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with protein powder.
Bro, my coach used to make me send pictures of my meals, man. After every meal, send full-on pictures and like, all right, I want to see it before and I want to see it after. It shows you ate it. Like, don't just send me the pic of the plate. Send me the pic of the empty plate after. Yeah, that was probably the hardest. Like, out of all the stuff that came with college football, I think the nutrition was probably the hardest part for me, man. Because that's hard, man. And people don't tell you how hard that is and how much goes into all of it because I'm eating 5,000 calories a day and I'm tired, man. My body is just, it's trying to digest all that.
You blowing it up like a balloon.
Now,
and then you still got to be able to run a 4.4.
Now you still got to be able to run. Not only you still got to be able to run, you still got to show up to every meeting and not get tired, not get sleepy. Everybody knows how hard it is to stay awake on a full stomach, bro. Then after that, you got to go to the gym all the time. You got to make sure that after the gym, you still got to eat more because you just burnt all that off. Mm-hmm. So now you got to eat some more. And after that, you get back to the crib. What you gotta do? Oh, we gotta make a protein shake. That was hard. That's hard discipline, man. That was harder discipline than showing up to class and doing work. Hey.
No, bro, I'm gonna give it to you, bro. Because I remember, like, I feel like it wasn't easy for me to gain weight until after I got my surgery and I broke my arm. Like, until then, bro, I was like the weak side defensive end, like 230 soaking wet. I broke my arm and I finally got over 240 comfortably for the first time in my life. Like, it was because I couldn't exercise for like 2 months. I couldn't do nothing but eat and sleep. So I literally, like, I wasn't even like in shape. Like, I literally got fat. Like, I gained 10 pounds of fat. After that, like, now all of a sudden I'm finally like repping 225. Like, I broke my arm in half, like 2 plates, 12 screws. And after that, like, I finally like started to get stronger and stronger for the first time in my life. Like, I was finally able to put on weight, finally able to put on muscle. And, you know, that's kind of what probably led me to playing offensive line my last 2-3 years of college, because once I learned how to put on weight, I didn't really have a lot of control after that. Like, I just, damn, like, you know, food actually tastes good, you feel me?
Right. What Riley said, it should be 2 seasons, man.
Hell, man. I mean, everything we do season, but bro, listen, man. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode of the Make Away Podcast. You know, we still got a lot of big plans coming. I got a lot of different things I want to do. Hard thing is I'm only a one-man team, so, you know, I can't do everything at once. I got a lot of beautiful visions that I want to do. I had a lot of different high school segments that I want to get to. If you guys are seeing this, I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm going to be a lot more logistically sound going into next football season. It's going to be a movie. I'm going to start planning it from like April or May, as soon as 7-on-7 season start. We got basketball season picking up soon. I'm reaching out to a lot of high school programs. I'm organizing a lot of visits to talk to these kids, make sure I'm getting permission slips signed and get the kids down here. We're going to have a hell of a season. We're going to have a hell of a winter. I'm very excited for all of the guests I got coming up. I got a lot organized. I got a lot of good football players coming in, a lot of good basketball players. And I'm going to try to tap into baseball this year, too. I really want to learn Philly baseball community, bro. Yeah. My older brother coaches at Kensington Health Sciences, and he told me that Northeast baseball is like one of the craziest teams he's ever seen in his life.
We got some good baseball teams here too, man. A whole lot of them.
Bro, a lot of these young boys like go to the MLB. Like, I didn't even know that, bro. Like, I did not know Philly to be like a baseball city, but I'm going to tap in. I'm going to find it. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing. Make sure you tapped into all the social media profiles. I am going to get more engaged. I am going to get more involved. Like I said, thank you, good brother, for pulling up as always. An honor and a pleasure.
Before you sign off, though, I do want to say, man, shout out to you, bro. You're doing great things for the city. The city doesn't have an outlet like this, right? And I think it's amazing because kids need to understand that this is real, right? Mm-hmm. There's real life situations, real life stories out here of people who did make it. There's also stories of people who didn't make it, but they're okay, right? Mm-hmm. We're all okay in life, man. I ain't make it to the league. You ain't make it to the league, but we're doing perfectly fine, man. Mm-hmm. Still able to provide for our families. We still able to do all the things that were in our visions. We're going to the league, man. So I do want to say shout out to you, man. I think this is a dope, super dope thing you're doing. I think the city's going to benefit from it a lot, and I think you're going to see a whole lot of this blow up because, like I said, no one else is doing this for the city. And this city has a lot of athletes, got a lot of talent. For real, a lot more. I've been a lot of places and I haven't seen as much talent as I've seen in this city, man.
And we're going to find it. Believe me, bro. We're going to find it, man. Like I said, bro, got great gentlemen that came on today, gave y'all a lot of game. Hopefully y'all soak some of it in. You know what I mean? And I'm very excited to see the really good things that my good brother gets to do here. So yeah, man, make sure you guys follow him on all his social media platforms. I'm gonna make sure I pop it up on the screen here. You guys take it easy.
I couldn't tell you in person, so I decided to write a song.